Hey friends, back again. This time I have the Radeon 9700 Pro from ATI. The FX 5800 was ugly enough and stuttery enough that I felt like getting this card out and giving it a run with the same area in Half-Life 2 with with 4x anti-aliasing and 2x anisotropic filtering because that's what I used on the 5800. But I also enabled adaptive anti-aliasing on this card, which is ATI's transparency anti-aliasing for transparent textures. That is something that this 9700 didn't have originally, but when the X800 series came out and ATI introduced that feature, they backported it to the previous cards, which was totally awesome. So with a 9700, not only has superior anti-aliasing, it has gamma corrected anti-aliasing, which hides the jagged edges even better, but it also anti-aliases textures, the transparent textures, which in Half-Life 2 is very beneficial because there's a lot of textures used to fake geometry like trees and fences and stuff and grates and whatever. So we'll take a look at that and see how it runs. And also it'll of course be running in full DirectX 9 mode because the 9700 has no problems running DirectX 9 unlike the 5800 Ultra. So let's give it a shot. Here we go. I'll show you the settings window as well so you can see the settings are all the same as before, 1280 by 720, and everything's the same here. VSync is disabled there, but I have a D3D overrider running in the background in Windows to force triple buffering. So that it forces triple buffering in VSync, which is what you want because you get rid of tearing, but you also you don't get the problems with VSync where if you can't maintain 60 frames per second or you can't maintain the same frame rate as your refresh rate, you don't drop down to fractions of that, which, you know, like instead of being able to run 45, you get dropped down to 30, which really sucks. You don't want that. D3D Overrider is a little utility that comes with Reba Tuner. So you can download Reba Tuner and install Reba Tuner, or you can basically just extract it from Reba Tuner's install exe. You just open it up with like 7-zip or something and you can find D3D Overrider inside it in a folder in there. It's a great little utility that works up through Windows 7, I think. But when we got to Windows 8 and Windows 10, it stopped working because of how I think it's because of how the desktop window manager works. It prevents D3D Overrider from working, which is a bummer. I don't know if there's any new utilities available to force triple buffering. I think you just have to trust that or hope that the game developers bother to implement it. For some reason, the NVIDIA and ATI never got into forcing that themselves. I think it's because triple buffering is supposed to be done by the application. They do let you force triple buffering in OpenGL, but that's because with OpenGL, it's a different level of control they have with the API than with DirectX. It's more appropriate for them to control it with OpenGL than it would be with Direct3D. So anyway, let's go see if I get killed this time on easy. already it's very important. I mean, there's some little stuttering here and there, but this runs a lot better than that GeForce FX was running this.
Look out below!
Do some more swimming with air-filled barrels. It's amazing. The Freeman is just astonishing in his swimming powers. It's such a clean image, though, compared to what the 5800 can do. I mean, the trees in the background are anti-aliased. Everything, all the edges. It's hard to see anti-aliasing on the pure geometry edges. The texture filtering here looks on 2x and isotropic looks pretty similar to what the 5800 was doing. So let me crank this to 16x and we'll see how clean that looks on my favorite fence test here. Or not fence. The great test. It's very clean. There's not any weird shimmering. The 5800 had a little shimmering between some of the bitmaps on the bridge here. Or, yeah, the bridge. So, that was probably NVIDIA's texture filtering optimizations for speed. But this looks pretty smooth. But I'm gonna put it back on 2x just because I don't know, because that's what I guess that's what I ran it on for the 5800, so it's a little faster.
And contrariwise, complicity with his cause will not go unpunished. Be wise. Be safe.
The other thing, the 9700 Pro has the same amount of memory bandwidth as a Parhelia, but it is way faster. You know, it's just not 9700 is just a far more efficient chip than the Parhelia. Plus it's running 100 megahertz faster. That helps. But and I mean, the Parhelia doesn't have any. The Parhelia doesn't have any memory bandwidth, any memory compression tech, or any fill rate overdraw reduction stuff. So, I mean, the 9700 is just far more efficient because it has like, I guess it would be the third generation of ATI's Hyper-Z, which is their memory Z-buffer optimization and memory lots of Z-buffer optimizations. Boy, it's really noisy here. I'll talk later. Yeah, so the 9700 has Hyper-Z, which is three things. It's like fast Z clear, hierarchical Z, and a Z compression. It's all about making the Z buffer faster and reducing what the card has to render through different depth tests and all that. It just helps tremendously. It reduces memory bandwidth usage and reduces how much the card is actually having to render. Parhelia doesn't have anything like that. Parhelia just brute forces all of its rendering. So it's just, you just get a lot more bang for your buck with the way ATI did. Was this guy sleeping on the job here? Thanks for that. You were troublesome last time I was here. I don't actually have a Radeon 9800 anymore. I've had a few in the past, but two of them died. I mean, these chips tend to... The 9500, 9700, 9800 chips tend to die in some way over time. I've seen a lot of 9700s and 9800 cards stop working properly, where you'll start to get corruption in the image. I suppose it's probably related to solder that fails over time, maybe, or something. Some of them I've been able to fix by underclocking, though, which is strange. So that seems more like some sort of chip failure. Well, yeah, this 9700 is... This one works alright, which is nice. I'm glad. I don't know if it'll last. But how much use do these things get? You'd think it should last forever. I mean, I only use it like once every year or two. So, yeah. What's a bummer? I like the Radeon 9800 with 256 mega memory with the DDR2 version, which has double the memory chips. I always thought that card was kind of interesting, so I did have one once, but that one died. And they're kind of rare nowadays, of course. Though I suppose it's possible that that one died. That early DDR2 ran really hot. It had little heat sinks on it, you know, whereas the... Oh no. This is a very noisy area. The DDR1 cards like this one doesn't have any memory heat sinks. They run a lot cooler than... Oops. Oh yeah. They're cooler than those early DDR2 cards did. Like the 5800 Ultra. Oops. The 5800 Ultra, the memory on there runs very hot, because they clocked it all the way up to 500 megahertz. So it's like DDR2 1000, but 2003. I mean, we didn't get DDR2 on the DDR2 1000 system memory until years later. I think I'm gonna load my save game from before, because I don't really feel like doing all of this again. Let's see if I still have it. Oh yeah, here we go. Let's just skip ahead to this. Take a look around here first before I mess with the elevator there. if anybody's actually listening to me yap, you guys should tell me what you played Half-Life 2 on, all the different cards you've played the game on, and what you thought of each one. It's pretty interesting stuff, I think. I've played it on a ton of different cards, obviously, I guess. From a Parhelia to Radeon 8500 to this thing to 9800, GeForce FX junk, GeForce 6, you know, GeForce, all the newer stuff. Lots of different things. You remember how this part works. I'm surprised I can't just pick this up with one arm or something like everything else.
Hey! You're Freeman, aren't you?
I wouldn't believe it if I couldn't see with my own eyes. Dr. Gordon Freeman himself.
You're just in time, Doc. We gotta move out before the Combine picks us up. We're just getting ready to pull out.
We better hurry. Gotta tear down this camp and get out of here.
Greetings to the free man.
Come on in. I'll show you what you're up against. Here, take a look at this. This here's the dam. It's just up ahead. Eli's hideout is here, a stone's throw from the apron and nestled in the old hydro plant. But getting there, with that hunter chopper on your ass, next to impossible. Good news is, the Vortigaunt's working his magic on your airboat, so you'll have a little more firepower going forward. I think he's just finishing up now. Go on out. There we are. That gun came off one of the same hunter choppers that you're up against. I always like to bring a little irony to a firefight. Take that chopper down, and you should be able to tear on through the Eli's place.
Will suffer greatly on the road, baby.
Farewell, Dr. Freeman.
For freedom.
Somehow, Doc.
It's human. Hello? Take it easy in there. You're safe now. You'll have to forgive the scanning process. We can't take any chances. Dr. Freeman? Gordon Freeman? Is that you? You've made it here this quickly. Well, Eli is going to be amazed, not to mention relieved. I'm Dr. Mossman, Dr. Judith Mossman. I've been hearing about you since long before the Black Mesa incident. Oh, Black Mesa. I do so envy you working with Eli and Dr. Kleiner when they are at the top of their field. Ah, there we go. You can come through now. I'll take you down to Eli right away. He would never forgive me if I kept you waiting. We could certainly use the extra help around here. We've covered a lot of ground.
Good to know you.
But things would go so much faster if we had more people with your trick. This way, Dr. Freeman. We're closing in on a reliable local teleport technology. Something the Combine still hasn't mastered. Eli thinks their portals are string-based, similar to our Calabi-Yau model, but they've failed to factor in the dark energy equations. They can tunnel through from their universe, but once they're here, they're dependent on local transportation. If they knew what we were doing with entanglement... Oh. Listen to me. I sound like a postdoc. I'm just so excited to think that we'll finally have the chance to work together. Where was I? Oh, yes. Dr. Kleiner compressed the Zen relay far beyond anything he imagined at Black Mesa. We've figured out how to use Zen as an unexpressed axis, effectively a dimensional slingshot, so we can swing around the border world and come back in local space without having to pass through. Oh, here's Eli now.
All right, good. You keep right up.
Eli, look who I found in the airlock.
Gordon Freeman. Let me get a look at you, man. My God, you haven't changed one iota. How do you do it? Now, let's see. The last time I saw you, I sent you up for help after the resonance cascade. I never thought it would take you this long to get back to me. Welcome to the lab, anyway. It's not Black Mesa, but it served us well enough.
It's going to be a lot more like Black Mesa with Gordon here to help.
Right you are. MIT graduates are few and far between these days. We'll get you out of that hazard suit and back into your lab coat where you belong.
Let me just finish up some work and I'll see what I can dig up. Dr. Freeman, it's been a real honor. I'm looking forward to working together.
Feel free to look around. We're still not sure what that does. Alex brings in the strangest things.
Oh, Gordon! The Vortigaunt said you were here. I can't believe you made it so quickly on foot.
I believe he broke your record, honey.
Well, he earned it. I guess you proved you can handle yourself out there.
There's nothing Gordon can't handle, with the possible exception of you.
Dad, please.
Take a look at this, Gordon.
Alex, I thought you were on watch.
The Vortigaunts relieved me so I could come see Gordon. Anyway, I should be in here working on the portal.
I have the repairs well in hand. Someone misjudged the capacity of the Combine thyristor.
Are you blaming me?
No, not at all. It was a calculation error, not a mechanical problem.
Then maybe you should let me do the calculations next time as well as installing it.
Alex, really? Sometimes I think you deliberately misunderstand me.
Alex, why don't you take Gordon along and give him some practice with the gravity gun?
Sure. Come on, Gordon. Let's go have some fun.
The zero-point energy field manipulator is not a toy, Alex.
Ugh, let's get out of here. So I see you've met Dr. Mossman. She's one of the main reasons I spend so much time outside. You should hear her drone on about how it should have been her in the Black Mesa test chamber that day. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be talking behind her back. It just gets a bit claustrophobic down here. That's the old passage to Ravenholm. We don't go there anymore. Come on. So, here we are. The scrapyard. This is a gravity gun my father was talking about. You can call it the zero-point energy field manipulator if you really want to. It's designed for handling hazardous materials, but we mainly use it for heavy lifting. Give it a try. The primary trigger emits a charge. You can punch stuff and set it flying. I found it handy for clearing minefields. The secondary trigger lets you grab things. You can throw them with the primary. Once you've picked something up, you can drop it gently by pressing your secondary trigger again. Pick up some stuff and toss it. You can also pull stuff over from a distance. Try grabbing those barrels from that ledge up there. All right. See if you can stack some stuff to climb up here. Try stacking some things. Grab something with your secondary trigger, then press the same trigger again to drop it gently. You can place objects by moving them into position and hitting the secondary trigger again. All right. Now let me call Dog. He loves to play fetch. Dog! Come! Good doggy. Gordon, this is Dog. My dad built him to protect me when I was a kid. First model was about yay high. I've been adding to him ever since. Haven't I, boy? Okay, dog, let's play catch with Gordon. You'll need to use the gravity gun. Go ahead, dog. Throw! Good catch! Throw another, dog. Another one, dog. Awesome. Go ahead, dog. Throw. Dog, go get your ball. When I told you dog liked to play fetch, I didn't tell you who'd be fetching, did I? Good throw. Okay, Gordon, let's try something else. Dog, throw something bigger. Scanners! Combine sweeping the area! You've got to head back to the lab. Come on, Gordon! Dog, come! Dad! Alex, do you read?
Alex! Honey,
What's going on in there?
where are you, Alex?
We're in the scrapyard airlock, stuck in a full auto cycle.
Is Gordon still with you?
He's right here.
Good. I want you to
Dad?
take Gordon out of here. Head for the coast. Do not go through Rafe.
Dad? Dad! Damn it! Dog, open the airlock. Get us out of here. Hurry, now! Tear it apart if you have to. Just get it open. That's enough, dog. Come on, Gordon. Come on! Gordon, you need to get out of here. I can't leave my father. Dog, take Gordon to the Ravenholm tunnel, then circle around and try to meet up with me. Hurry!
Alright, I'm gonna save and quit here. That's about an hour of the Radeon 9700 doing Half-Life 2 for you. Runs it great, I think. It runs it a lot better than the FX 5800 Ultra, even though the FX 5800 Ultra is stuck with DirectX 8.1 mode. So, yeah. You don't really want to use the 5800 Ultra for any sort of games after about 2003 or something, really. Although it runs Doom 3 alright. I should get that out and try it sometime on there. But anyway, thank you for watching. Signing off.